Hi, I'm Mahit, and I'm going to tell you about force, motion, and energy. So what is force? Force is a push or pull of an object. So, let's take an example. You decide, why does this door shut when we push it? You decide. I'll give you 5 seconds. So, it is because of the force we use. It is because of the force. We pushed the door and it shut because we used enough force to shut the door. So, at the same point, force causes motion. The same point, force causes motion. Motion is an act of an object with the force. For example, like things can go for fast or slow. So for example, if someone is pushing you on a swing, if your mom is pushing on a swing, you feel the force your mom uses to push you. That is an force. Forces can be non-contact and contact. The contact forces are drag, thrust, weight, and lift. The non-contact force is only one, gravity. Gravity was invented by Isaac Newton. He was the famous scientist. So, we feel motion when your mom used even more force. That swing even goes way faster. That's motion. So, that's an example of motion. Let's take another example of motion. So, for example, like when you're on a beach. When you're on a beach, you're swimming, the waves hit you, and it feels like they are pushing you back. That's a contact force because it causes friction. We try to move forward, and the waves try to pull us backwards. Then the latitude should be 0 latitude. So that's an example of motion. Then you can be slow or fast because we don't know how strong are the waves. So you can be slow or fast. So now, same related to force and motion, you're all sure about energy. Now, energy is all the things we use around. We use energy to play. We use energy to speak. Right now, I'm speaking with you. We use energy even if you're sleeping, right? Even if you're sleeping. So, we use energy every time. So, there are many kinds of energies. So, let's talk about 5 energies that we know. We know thermal, electrical, chemical. Most of you are not sure about magnetic energy, so I'll explain to you. And wind. So, and mechanical energy for sure. Everybody knows that. So thermal, let's start with thermal or heat energy. So heat energy is produced when an electrical energy can turn into heat energy, like when you roast and bread, electrical energy turns into heat energy and heats the bread. And do you know thermal energy is also used for turbines? Yes, turbines. Do you know what are turbines? Okay, turbines are like big fans. They mostly look like this. They mostly look like this. They are big fans. Wait, let me show you how they look on the front. Turbines mostly look like this. They mostly look like this, like big fans. Now turbines run by water. Turbines run by water. How? Okay, when they take a pile of water, they take a strong pile of water and the water flows through the turbines, so it spins. It spins. The water lets the turbine spins. Turbines are way bigger than even way bigger than like this. They're like 2 tons. 2 tons. They weigh about 2 tons. Not exactly by estimating. They weigh about 2 tons. So heat energy comes from sun and stuff, we know, from fire. These all kind of things, heat energy. These all kind of things are made of heat energy. So, now let's talk about mechanical energy. In mechanical energy, there are 2 types of mechanical energy. Are you sure you know what they are? If you're not sure, they are kinetic and potential energy. Now let's talk about potential energy. Potential energy is when you store energy. For example, we went to Mount Everest. Not real. Don't think it's real. So we went to Mount Everest and climbed up on the top. We used a lot of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy turned into potential energy. When we walked through Mount Everest, our energy has been stored. It has been stored. Now, if we want to slide down the mountain, our energy, we are releasing our energy. We are releasing our energy. So, when we get to store our energy, it's called potential energy. When we release it, it becomes kinetic energy. So this is an example. This is just an example to understand. This is an easy example of it. So, if you want another example, let me tell you. So, and how massive an object is, it has more potential energy. So now for example, let's take let's take a road with high road. Right here, this is the top of the road. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. This is the top of the road. Now, if we get to the top of the road, we stored a lot of energy. Now we can slide through the road to get to the end. Now here is potential. I'll just put P right here. And here is kinetic. We're releasing it. Kinetic changes into potential, and it can change into kinetic again. So that's how it works. Kinetic, potential, kinetic. So, now you're sure about mechanical energy. Mechanical energy can turn into electrical energy. And electrical energy can turn into thermal and electrical mechanical energy. So now I told you about electrical energy. Now let's go to electrical energy. So electrical energy is energy that can easily flow, way easier than any energy. It can easily flow. Now, for example, how does a lamp switch on when we plug the wire? How does it lamp on when we plug on the wire? How does it work? Now, the particles are moving way faster and they can flow way easier, and it connects to this, and when it reaches the bulb, it is turned into heat energy. That's why when we touch it, it feels like a heat energy. It can turn. Now let's see if it can turn into mechanical energy. Now, mostly electrical energy can mostly turn into mechanical energy. So, for example, let's take fan. Let's take a fan. Let's take a fan. So, a fan, electrical energy is needed to turn on the fan. Here is the switch. Now, how is it, even though there's no electrical wire, how does it work actually? When we turn on the switch on, how does it work? Actually, it doesn't have any wires. it works because it is connected to the fan. Do you remember your remote control car? Even though it doesn't have wires, it works, right? With a remote control. That's how this works. Even it is connected to the fan. The switch is connected to the fan. When the electrical energy reaches the fan, it turns into mechanical energy. And let me tell you a secret. The wires from the switch are behind it. So it is connected on the top of the wall to the fan, so it can easily flow to the fan. That's a secret about the mechanical energy. Now let's talk about solar energy, the most important one. So, as you know, solar energy comes from the sun. Actually, from today, solar energy have become the most popular energy because solar energy is used for everything. Solar panels, you know the solar panels on top of your house, they come from the sun. When the sun rays hit the solar panels, it lets the heat come into the room and to keep us warm. Not so that much heat, but warm slightly to come to us our room and keep us warm. It doesn't allow out all the energy now. So that's an example. Now, do you see if you didn't saw it, do you saw it? The electrical, solar. They actually look like this, but I don't know their name. But did you ever saw this? Holes on the panel, and it is facing the sun. Did you ever saw that? The sun rays, they don't need electrical energy. The sun rays directly hit this panel, and it stores electrical energy, and it stores that energy to use it at night when it is connected to a thing. It is connected to a traffic controller, light controller. When it gets night, they switch on the switch, and it turns on its own. That's why they put that to use solar energy to the panels. So, chemical energy. Mostly, let's talk about magnetic energy because we don't know that actually. Most of you don't even know that. If you want to know magnetic energy, now let's talk about magnetism. So I'll talk magnetism in my next video. So, goodbye.